Hey guys, what's up? It's weekend. I just put Ruby's food ready. He's still asleep and in 1 second he will be awake. That's why I don't talk so loud, because you have to see how he wakes up. Okay, there we go. Okay, so he just had his breakfast. As you can see, it was 3 seconds, and now it's time for coffee for me and tea for Kim.
I just had a quick shower, and a few days ago we went to see the new Fantastic Beasts movie with Johnny Depp, who is playing Grindelwald. And in the movie he had this weird crazy eye, was white with a red circle around it. And while I was watching the movie I was like, maybe it would be cool to recreate that. So that's what we're going to do today. First we're going to shoot some own photos and we're going to edit them in Lightroom, and then we will go into Photoshop to recreate that, well, crazy eye. Let's call it a crazy eye. That white, red, crazy eye.
So we just arrived at a location. It's a really dark alley, and this is Kim over here. I don't know if she's here or here, because I don't have a flip out screen, but she's here. There. Hi Kim. And it's really dark, as you can see. Hang on. It's really dark in here. And that's what we want. The darker, the better for the photos, and it really sets a mood that you want. And in this tunnel there are some lights, like this one. And these lights are important. As you can see, there's now light coming into my eyes, and the rest is all kind of dark and in the right mood already. And you want to have bright eyes, because you have to edit the eyes, and well, good luck editing eyes if you can't even see them. So that's why we have this light over here, because if I step out you don't even see my eyes, you don't see me, you just see the lights, which are important. And I said it before, Kim is going to help me make this. No, she's not helping me, she is actually taking photos. I will just be editing them in Lightroom and Photoshop. So Kim, are you ready? Okay, let's go. It's super cold, so we're going inside, getting a hot chocolate and coffee and cake. And cake. No, we're not going to get cake. And it's super cold, so hopefully it was all worth it, and I will see you back home. Well, the cake was a little bit different than we expected. We just had a whole lunch instead of just cake. Now it's time to start editing the photos, since we just got home. And we made a whole set of these photos, so they all fit in the theme. They're not necessarily photos that you can use to recreate the scary eye, the white and red thing in the eyes, but they do fit the whole set. So that's why we took them. The photos have been edited in Lightroom, and now it's time to take some of the pictures into Photoshop to see which one we are going to give the scary eye of Grindelwald. And I think that this is the right photo for it. Okay, so we just edited it, and now we're in Lightroom. Right click on Edit In, go to Photoshop. because that's where we can do the major changes to it. Okay, so now we are in Photoshop. If you zoom in a bit, to make everything a little bit more visible, we just start with adding a brightness/contrast layer. And just play with the settings so you know what will work for you. And our subject is the eye. So everything else shouldn't be more white or more bright, because that just doesn't work. In the left you have your swatches, and they will probably be white over black. If that's not the case, just press D on your keyboard and it will change to that. And we want to have our layer mask background black, so press X on your keyboard or press this icon. Then on your keyboard you use Command and A. Now press Alt and Backspace, so everything will be black. Now you want to make your eye brighter, so press X on your keyboard again, press B for your brush or click on this icon, and now paint away the darkness so your subject will just light up. And since we are working with a layer mask, it doesn't matter if you misclick something, because just press X on your keyboard and paint it away and everything will be okay. And if it isn't bright enough, click on the icon left from the layer mask and make it brighter, make it darker, make it the way you want. You can play with it above here. And now we're going to make a new layer with the hue saturation one. Since we've already made a selection, we can now replace the hue saturation mask with the brightness/contrast mask. So Alt click on the layer mask of the brightness and contrast and switch it over to the other one. It asks if you want to replace the layer mask, and yes, you want that. So just press enter or press yes. And nothing changed in the photo, because you didn't change anything of the settings of the hue and the saturation. Try playing with the top one. We will adjust the colors of the eye. And if the colors aren't clear enough, just use some saturation in it. And since the red part of Grindelwald's eye is only in the circle, you don't want to have the full eye red. So make sure you have your black brush selected and just paint away everything you don't want to be red. And now we have to play with the saturation. So if you need more saturation, just add more saturation. And if you need less saturation, well, I think you should just make less saturation. But in this case, we really need more saturation. So I just added 17 points to the saturation, which is, in my opinion, way better than less. And also make sure to don't watch it zoomed in too much, because when you zoom it in like 200%, that's not how you're going to show it to your audience. So when you're just going to upload it to Instagram, people will see it from a distance. So make sure you have to zoom out sometimes, because people just see it on their phones. Is it clear enough? Is it too much? Is it too less? Just think about your audience and where you're going to post it. And now we have to make sure that the other part of the eye is gray or white, because it's not blue, it's not brown or whatever color your eyes is. So we have to make it gray, white, and maybe even a little bit brighter than we have it right now. So now we just add a black and white layer. And we want to replace the layer mask, and make sure you do that with one from the brightness and contrast, because that's the layer that is covering all of the eye. Yes, we want to replace that. But now everything, also the red part, is gone. Command click on the hue saturation mask and it will give you a selection. And now just paint away that part so it will just become red again. Okay, and if this is what you want, that's great. If it's not, make sure to play around with these three settings. And zoom out a little bit just to see how it worked. Also look at the other eye, the one that isn't edited. If you like it, just leave it like that. If you don't like it, make sure to edit that one too. Make it brighter, make it darker, change the colors, just do whatever you want. I think in this case I might just make it a little bit brighter. And not as much as the other eye, so I can't really use the layer I already got. So I just go back again. First I will group this so I know this is the right eye. Right eye. Make sure to make a new brightness/contrast mask. Command A to select all. Alt backspace to make everything black. Go into your settings, make it a bit brighter. Go back to your layer mask. Make sure you have your white on your brush and make it brighter. See if this is what you want. If you like it, that's fine. If it's not, just play around with the brightness, darkness. I personally like it if I make the eye a little bit darker, so there's a more contrast on both eyes. And just for your own sake, even though it's one layer, just group it by pressing Command G and name it. We have eye. So we went from this to this, from this to this. Now you know how you have to recreate that crazy, scary Grindelwald red, black, white, bright eye. If you got any questions, just leave them below in the comments or hit me up on Instagram. If I can, I will surely try to help you out. And while you are still here, feel free to like, subscribe and leave a comment, and hopefully I will see you in the next video.